Hey everyone, I am your astrologer, Wonder Girl, taking you to new heights. Here's your daily forecast for the day of Wednesday, November 22nd, 2017. Now, what's going on today is that we have the moon still hanging out here in Capricorn, okay? When the moon is in Capricorn, brings our attention to where life is going, our life direction, our social standing, our reputation, kind of, moving forward to put our lives in a better spot. So that's what we're focusing on, okay? Because the moon is in detriment in Capricorn, it does not like to be there. That can be a little bit hard for us, okay? Because we know in Capricorn we have things to do. We know we have to do things to put our life in the spot that it is that we want to be in. But with the moon there, not feeling nurtured in the process, not feeling cared for, and emotionally not feeling quite right as we do this thing, because we don't feel like our emotional needs are just being taken care of as we're trying to put our plans in place. And I think that's what's coming up today. We know we need to do things, we know we need to get things done or to make decisions about our life and about where our life is going, and not knowing if we're quite up to the task in some way, okay? Now last night and into this morning, we did have some good aspects as we're feeling uncomfortable. There were some good things going on with the moon here in a sextile to both Jupiter and Scorpio and Neptune here in Pisces. Saying, you know what, maybe there are some hard things that are going on in your life. Maybe you have to get things done and you feel uncomfortable doing it and you don't want to do it. But if you allow yourself to change who you are, change your perspective, figure out what's going on emotionally with you and get in touch with yourself emotionally, it's going to help you to feel much better about your life as well in some way and to begin to move forward. And I think that's what's kind of coming in last night, which could have been hard and could have been difficult because Scorpio is a little intense, and of course the moon doesn't like being in Capricorn, but some really maybe deep feelings coming up at the nighttime yesterday, really inspiring you and pushing you to change your perspective, change who you are, change the way you think about your world and your life and how you interact in the world, so that you can be more comfortable doing this thing that it is that you need to do. And I think that was going on here with the Jupiter sextiling the moon, Neptune sextiling the moon, and then of course Jupiter in a trine with Neptune as well. Okay, really saying if you can readjust your perspective on life, on who you are and who you think you are, on the way that your life has always been, and get on board with the where life is going and change yourself to meet external demands, it's going to be a lot easier for you in some way. Neptune is well stationing on this spot too, trying to kickstart you into gear here to help you figure out what it is that you need to do. I think with this kind of arrangement, it's you don't want to expect external circumstances to change. It's like, I don't think that things going on outside of our life right now are going to be really good for us. You have to change to meet the circumstance. You have to rise to the circumstance. And I think that's what we're trying to get on board with yesterday and into today, is how do we need to change to meet these circumstances going on outside us that are hard or that are difficult or that are not panning out the way that we want, and trying to figure all of that out. All right. And I think that's a big thing of today. And I think that's going to be very, very important. Because as the moon moves through Capricorn, it's going to come into a conjunction with Pluto at 11 a.m. Utah time, bringing up some more intense feelings about your life and about where your life is going, because the moon does not like being in Capricorn, does not like being near Pluto, okay? Because Pluto rules Scorpio, where the moon also doesn't like to be, all right? So there's some more hard things that are going to come up today, and I think it's going to be key to stay rooted in yourself, to figure out what's going on in your emotions, to not be afraid to go deep, and to not be afraid to transform yourself so that you can meet some of these demands that are in your life, some of these hard things that are happening in your life, and you can meet them at a better level and to do what it is that you need to do, okay? I just think that's what's going on. The moon also here in the morning going to make a quincunx to the North Node in Leo, saying you may have to change what makes you happy. You may have to think differently about what makes you happy. You may have to like different things, be happy doing different things, wait to be happy while you take care of some of this other stuff going on, all right, and work with yourself to get on board with what's happening in life. Okay, so that's what's going on in the morning. I wish I could say that things get a little bit better after noon Utah time, but I think we're gonna have quite some intensity still coming in. That's because after the moon does all of that and comes over Pluto, it's also going to square Mars. and that's going to happen at what, 3 o'clock, and then at the end of the day it's also going to square Uranus. So as there are some uncomfortable things coming up in our life, needing to move forward, needing to do some things, and having to rework our internal states here, there could be some hard things with people, some hard conversations with people, maybe in some way, with the Mars making like a loose sextile over here to Mercury. Could be some hard conversations with people that are coming in. Could be people giving you problems. People don't understand where your life is going. You having to work with people and to put in the effort to have people know, this is what's happening in my life, this is where I'm going, are you coming or not, and how can we make this work? So there could be some things that come in with people while you're dealing with some hard external situations that you also have to deal with, okay? Mars in Libra can also bring up you being overly critical of yourself and who you are while you're trying to put plans in place, while you're trying to move forward, and having some uncomfortable feelings that are really hard for you to beat. Maybe feeling like, you know what, I'm just never going to be able to do it. This is never going to work. Nothing that I do is right. Okay, and needing to learn, no, like that, no, that's not it. That's not it. Like, you're fine. This is just a thing that you need to overcome, and you just need to change to adapt to get to that point, okay? And you'll be fine if you just are a little more patient and gentle with yourself in the process, okay? And do the best that you can to work everything together and change who you are, and work with other people and change some of your relationships to get on board with where your life is going and with some things that it is that you need to do, okay? The moon also in a square to Uranus at the very, very end of the day and into tomorrow, also bringing up some hard feelings too, where you feel like you can't be free, you can't assert yourself, you can't express yourself authentically in the way that you want to in some way. Maybe you can't get as much of the flashes of insights as you want, okay? Maybe there are also being some unexpected things that come up as well, again, that are also hurtful for you, that you then have to learn how to integrate into your life, into where your life is going, and into your feelings, okay? So a lot of difficult things going on today that I think you're gonna have to deal with, and you're gonna have to learn how to overcome. All right, with all of these squares coming in. The moon is making some positive aspects throughout the day though, which can help, but even these positive aspects are deep and intense and scary, because the moon, while it's making the square to Mars and the square to Uranus, is going to be making a sextile to Venus and a sextile to Chiron, okay? So I think as these hard things are going on here, and as you're trying to get on board with where your life is going and work with other people and not be so critical of yourself, and to deal with what's happening, even if you feel restricted in some way, you're again having to make more big changes in your life to change who you are, change how you think about life, change how you live life in some way. With Venus and Scorpio, Venus does not like being in Scorpio, so again, even though you need to make changes being hard for you to make, but good for you if you can make them, coming in here, going on. And then the moon also in the sextile to Chiron, saying you need to understand yourself and you need to go inside. I don't know, I just want to say, like, today is one of those days, like, you need to go, like, into the wound. Like, if you are feeling bad about something today, like, don't try to hide it. Like, I'm not saying, like, talk to everyone that you can about your problems, but I'm saying don't ignore it. Don't pretend that it's not real, and don't think that it's insurmountable, you know? Go straight in to the thing that hurts you and get in there and deal with it and pick it apart and do whatever it is that you can to understand what you're feeling on the inside, so that you can start to feel better with it in some way. Okay, I really do think that's what's going on. A lot of intense things about your life, about where your life is going, and really the key being you, changing yourself, working with your emotions, figuring out your emotions, and not being afraid of what comes up. I think so many times we get so scared that life is gonna hurt. Life is gonna be hard, you know, it's gonna be scary. And you know what life is? Life hurts. Like, life sucks sometimes. I've had lots of things that have happened in my life in the past 3 years that I have not wanted to happen. I'm so sorry, but it's just like, that's gonna happen. Life is gonna be hard, and you can't stop living life because it gets hard. You know, you have to accept that, and you have to understand it, and you have to just go into what hurts. And I think the deeper you can go into what hurts you and to understand it and to not be afraid of it, I think it's it's going to help you to understand your life and to do what it is that you need to do and to make it better. Okay, I really hope that makes sense through all of that, but I'm saying you need to face what hurts you and to not be scared. And I think if you can do that, you're going to come out on the other side of it, and you're going to realize that what is hurting you is not as bad as you thought it was, even if it is painful. Okay, I'm just gonna stop it there so that I don't get emotional and make things more confusing. But that's my message for today. A lot of stuff going on in the background. To be honest with you, I'm kind of tired of talking about everything else because it's been going on for so long. Like, these planets are moving so slow. So it's kind of frustrating. But there's a lot of stuff going on in the background that is happening. I've been talking about for a while with the Saturn trine Uranus, wanting to break free in your life, but it being very hard coming in. Yeah, Venus square Pluto. You know what? I'm just not going to talk about all of that stuff today because what's going on with the moon is way more important and covers everything else anyways. The only other thing that I might mention happening here, because I did talk about Neptune stationing, I talked about Mercury yesterday, as we'll talk about the sun coming into Sagittarius. People are gonna say that the sun being in Sagittarius is gonna be a happy thing. And sure. The Sagittarius is an optimistic sign. It's a happy sign in some way, but I think with everything else going on here, with all this other stuff in the background, and with Saturn coming to the end of Sagittarius, the moon on Pluto, it's not gonna feel as happy and optimistic as it is. And I think what the sun in Sagittarius could be doing here is putting even more pressure on you to figure out where your life is going and to figure out what is happening and to make sense of it all, especially as we get some hard stuff coming over here with Mercury and Saturn. So, you know, I don't know what to tell you other than to keep trying to push forward, keep trying to see the positivity in everything that's going on, even if it's not, and don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. I don't know, that's the message I want to give for you today. And Sagittarius is not afraid. Sagittarius will go in to like any battle and any struggle and is like happy about it and carefree. And I think that's what you need to do with the sun moving into Sagittarius. If there's anything hurting you that you are afraid of, you need to have that Sagittarius mindset that everything is going to be okay. It's going to be okay even if it hurts and even if it's hard. All right, sorry that was kind of a weird reading. I think today what I had to say was more intuitive than astrological, but that's what I'm going to give you, okay? Now your card for the day is the Four of Wands. What is this all about? I don't even know how I feel about this card. It's the Four of Wands upright. This card, to me, is actually a card of like some kind of milestone in some way. Y'all can take this card or leave it. I don't really know why this card is coming up given the astrology, but it's to me about a milestone. You're reaching some milestone in your life in some way. This actually does indicate some completion of some sort coming in, or some kind of big event happening in your life. Normally the Four of Wands upright is a happy card. Like, normally this is a good thing. So I don't know what's going on today, but it could be you coming to a point in your life, for me also to interpret this intuitively today, where you feel like there's some kind of milestone, there's something you've been waiting for to fall into place or to appear, to come up to you, to help you figure out where your life is going next and to make things more clear to you. And maybe that's what's happening today, is that even though things are hard and even though things are stressful, is that you're finally getting like little glimpses of clarity that you haven't gotten in a while, and that you're finally starting to understand things that you haven't, and that people are finally starting to show you their colors and who they are, and it's starting to, even if it's uncomfortable, help you understand better where you stand in life right now and what it is that you need to do, okay? So that's the way I'm going to interpret that card, and I think that's what's going on today. And I think if you're feeling crazy and if you're feeling like things are all over the place, I think you need to understand that everything that is coming up to you right now is meant to help you understand better what's going on in your life, if it's hard, even if it's hard, and to help you better figure out where it is that you go from here, and to make things clearer to you than they have been before, so that you can move forward in a better way, knowing more fully how you feel, how other people feel, and just what is happening, okay? That's what I've got for you today. Thank you so much for watching my horoscope. If you like it, please like it on YouTube, subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends, and I will talk to you later.